On today's primetime local news, City Councilor steps away from annexing land from Vermilion County.
The Municipal Government Board does require a fair amount of background information to be done so that this is done properly, follows the process, and that's what we're working through right now.
A proud moment for a few firefighters awarded for delivering a baby girl at a resident's home.
Got involved right away and they were able to deliver the baby, no complications.
And local family doctors frustrated with the UCP proposed income reduction to physicians starting early 2020.
It costs us way too much, and we have to find a way to spend less money.
Plus, investigation continues after 2 fires erupted, destroying the Exile Outdoors building last week.
Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
If the proposed health cuts by the UCP government go through, there could be changes to the way family doctors do things. And the most vulnerable patients may have the most to be concerned about. Stacey Comer has that story.
The Alberta government has laid out a series of proposals in an effort to save money by cutting some costs associated with health care. Family physicians would be the hardest hit.
The estimates that we're getting from a lot of our family medicine clinics are anywhere in the range of 25% up to 40% reduction, which is obviously quite concerning in terms of being able to keep clinics open, being able to see patients in the way that physicians want to be able to see them, those kind of concerns.
And if there's a problem where they don't think they're going to have enough time, then that's a problem with fee-for-service. So let's look at some alternatives, and the best way is to operate through the AMA and get those concerns to the consultation table.
The Alberta Medical Association thinks the most vulnerable patients would be the ones hardest hit by these changes.
So these would include seniors, it would include people with mental health issues, often parents with young children that might have learning disabilities or developmental disabilities. All of these patients do require a lot of additional time and supports through our clinics, and those are exactly the patients that seem to be targeted by these cuts.
In the campaign we said, look, we're for universally accessible and government-funded healthcare system. That's what we're for. The delivery of it may take some different forms, and we don't think there's anything wrong with that. Our goal is it costs us way too much, and we have to find a way to spend less money.
At least one Lloydminster clinic is circulating petitions to its patients aimed at creating awareness and hoping to discourage the government from making certain cuts.
We're strongly encouraging patients, if they're in their doctor's office, a lot of clinics, as you noted, are signing petitions. They're having letters out for patients to sign. We're also encouraging patients to reach out to their local MLAs, raise the concerns.
People want to bring petitions to me or talk to me about it. I'm open to that. Like, that's what I do, right? And then I can take those concerns to the ministry. But I'm certain, they should do it through me. They should do it through the AMA. The more people that are aware of it, that are in positions of power, the better. So,
Stacey Comer, Primetime Local News.
The fire that broke out at Exile Outdoors late last week is still being investigated. Fire crews, inspectors, and RCMP were at the scene yesterday walking through the building. We reached out for an interview, but according to the city, the cause of the fire is currently under investigation by independent fire investigators. The Lloydminster Fire Department is involved as a support role at this time and is unable to provide further comments. We will give you more information when it becomes available. Well, City Council approved the updated notice to intent to annex lands in the county of Vermilion River. Administration is proceeding with the formal notification and submission process to the Alberta Municipal Government Board. The annexation is intended to help Lloydminster potentially support a population of 44,000 in the future.
In that, down that process. So there's no defined time as to when the application will be completed with both of us to send forward. But this is, as it was indicated, the intent is to make the MGB or the Municipal Government Board aware of it and follow the proper protocols and just update what was started in 2014.
The number of steps made to make this move is why there's currently no timetable.
The Municipal Government Board does require a fair amount of background information to be done so that this is done properly, follows the process, and that's what we're working through right now.
And any move for the annexation on the Saskatchewan side will not happen until the Alberta process is complete. Well, it's not every day you hear of a fire department delivering a baby at someone's home, but that is the case for the Blackfoot Fire Department as they recently delivered their first baby. On November 25th, around 9:30 a.m., the fire department was on scene at a medical call where one woman was going into labor.
We got there, and 3 of my members got involved right away, and they were able to deliver the baby. No complications, no difficulties at all. And then EMS showed up shortly after to take over, and just to show that our appreciation and the good job they did. They each got an award and a pin to put on their uniform.
For the fire department to be able to help the community in this way by helping deliver a baby is something Fire Chief Brad Parkinson is quite proud of and is happy of the service his fire department can offer.
Not all medical calls are the kind you want to go to, but when something like this, it's pretty rewarding, and just like to give back to the community. And now that we're doing a little more of the medical side, we're instead of just doing fire and MBCs, we're doing more of the medical side, and we're enjoying it. So.
This was the first baby delivery for the County of Vermilion River firefighters as well as the Blackfoot Fire Department. And now a look at your weather with our Abby St. John.
Thanks, Judy. Well, it's -7 here in Lloydminster. Fairly cloudy skies as it makes its way into this evening. Winds coming out from the south-southeast at 14 kilometers per hour, making it feel like closer to -13 with that wind chill. Across the region, -9 out in Cold Lake, 1 in Athabasca, -1 in Edmonton and Whitecourt, -3 in Edson, +3 in Red Deer and Jasper, and +7 out in Rocky Mountain House. And on the Saskatchewan side, -7 in Meadow Lake and Saskatoon, -12 in Prince Albert, -14 in Melfort, and -9 out in North Battleford. And in North Battleford overnight, it'll drop to -10, and that wind will also drop significantly to only 9 kilometers per hour from the 26 it is currently coming in from the south-southwest, and will remain 9 kilometers tomorrow, but switching directions to the northwest with a daytime high of -1 and a mostly sunny day with just a little bit of cloud coverage throughout. And then in Cold Lake, they'll have a little less cloud coverage than they're currently experiencing, and that temperature will remain at -9 overnight, and that wind will be at 9 kilometers per hour coming in from the west-southwest, which will pick up to 11 kilometers per hour tomorrow coming in from the north, and there'll be a daytime high of -4 with a mix of sun and cloud. Here in Lloydminster, we will clear up overnight with the temperature at -6, but that wind will be at 17 kilometers per hour coming in from the west-southwest, which will drop to 11 kilometers per hour coming in from the north tomorrow with a daytime high of -4 and a mostly sunny day with just a little bit of cloud throughout with a low of -6, but that wind chill will make it feel like closer to -19. And then on Thursday, there is a 42% chance of some flurries throughout the day with a high of -8, which will feel closer to -14 and a low of -11 and a mix of sun and cloud. And then on Friday, it'll be a high of -5, but will feel like -14 with that wind chill and a low of -13. That wraps up your 3-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. For growers, winter is spent trying to map out next year's growing season. And this year brings added challenges to keep everything on track. Farmers with crop in the field have to account for time spent recovering that crop in the spring before they can seed.
Makes it very difficult to plan. Like right now on my farm, this is the planning time. We're planning next year's crop, buying inputs, or planning on what you're doing, and not having that crop off the field makes it very difficult to plan ahead.
Both sides of the border have tough harvest seasons, leaving plenty of producers with crops still on the ground.
Basically, they have to do something with that crop that's out in the field. I think most producers have about 3 or 4 different game plans and different ways to go about it in their mind and manpower, etc. And I think they'll manage quite well with it.
The Saskatchewan Ministry of Agriculture estimates there's still 1.5 million acres still unharvested in the province. The Canadian cattle industry is getting a 2-year delay on enforcement of new transport regulations that were set to come into effect in February. The new regulations would lower the maximum transport time for cattle to 36 hours from the current 48 hours. The federal government says the 2-year transition period will enable the cattle sector to complete research on infrastructure, education, and awareness of livestock transportation. Saskatchewan Stock Growers President Bill Huber says his group had been pushing for a delay in the regulations, saying the numbers don't show that there's enough harm to livestock by keeping them on trailers that much longer. The Alberta government says it's extended renewable fuels standard regulations to 2022. Biofuels are produced from a variety of agricultural, forestry, or waste feedstocks and blended into commercial petroleum-based gasoline and diesel to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The province says that part of the regulation extension includes aligning Alberta's blend rates to ensure a minimum standard of 5% and 2% renewable content for gasoline and diesel, respectively. And now here are your agriculture prices for today.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
In Wednesday's loss to the Bonnyville Pontiacs and this past weekend's road trip, the Bobcats had to call on an unlikely face to help the back end out. Our Evan Kenny has more on in this week's Beyond the Boards.
One day in the AJHL. The next is back to Midget AAA.
It was an awesome experience. I had a lot of fun playing with them for those 3 games. It's a good measuring sticks. Here I am. Hopefully I can be there next year.
Dugan has been the only affiliate to be called up by the Bobcats this season. And according to other players and coaches, Dugan deserves it.
Yeah, it's something you want to see. I always want my guys playing up at the higher levels as much as they can, and he's the first guy that's had a chance to do it this year, and he's played well enough to earn it. So, and I'm proud of him for that, and hopefully the rest of our guys get an opportunity next year.
It's awesome. You love seeing guys go up. You love seeing them representing, your own team with joining the other club upstairs. So, yeah, it's awesome to see for him.
Dugan had to step in for the Junior A club due to a couple key players out on the back end. Gunnar Kinneberg was out with a suspension, and Tyson Kwolek was out due to injury.
You know, it's really important for him to get up and get into our organization, start to kind of feel and understand how we do things and how the Junior A level is played, really.
The Bobcats won their game Friday night in Whitecourt, but lost Saturday in Grand Prairie. Their next game will be Friday in Bonnyville. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Centre Auto Body. For over 35 years, City Centre Auto Body has been your go-to auto body shop.
And now a look at the weather with our Abby St. John.
Thanks, Judy. Well, taking a look at our satellite radar, Edmonton hasn't had the best of luck so far this season with weather-wise. It seems like it's either snowing or now, in this case, a mix of freezing rain and sleet and even just rainfall throughout the last couple of hours, making its way more east around Vegreville and Marwayne, but we don't have a real high chance of that coming to Lloydminster here, so that's a good sign for us. On the Saskatchewan side, it's still currently pretty clear weather-wise. There is snowfall in North Battleford and like in the Meadow Lake and St. Walburg areas. It's making its way further down south, but nothing too heavy to report. Just heavier cloud coverage should be expected. -7 still here in Lloydminster, -9 in North Battleford and Pearslin, -8 in Meadow Lake, -14 up in Isle La Crosse, -11 in Green Lake, -10 in St. Walburg and Maidstone, and -6 in Macklin. And on the Alberta side, -9 in Cold Lake, -5 in Marwayne, -3 in Provost, -4 in Wainwright, Vermilion and Vegreville, -6 in St. Paul and Lac La Biche, -7 in Bonnyville, -1 out in Edmonton. And tomorrow, daytime high -4 here, as well as in Wainwright, Vermilion, Marwayne, St. Paul, Bonnyville, and Cold Lake. -5 in Edmonton, Vegreville, Lac La Biche, and Cold Lake, and -1 down in Provost. And on the Saskatchewan side, -1 in Macklin and North Battleford, -3 in Maidstone, -5 in Green Lake and St. Walburg, -4 in Meadow Lake and Pearslin, and -8 up in Isle La Crosse. And overnight across the region, Paradise Hill seems to be the only region that will experience some snow overnight. Isle La Crosse has a risk of ice and so freezing overnight, so definitely be cautious if you're driving. But the rest of the region is fairly clear, especially in Murnum and in Wainwright. They don't have as heavier cloud coverage as other parts of the region. And the temperatures ranging between -14 and -7. Your school day forecast for tomorrow, 8 a.m. will be -5 with mostly cloudy skies. And then by the time recess rolls around, it'll be -5. And then lunch, it will be -4. And then by the time school is out, the sun should also be out, and it should be around -6 with just a little bit of cloud coverage and a low of -6. And then on Thursday, there's a 42% chance of some snow with a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -8 and a low of -11. On Friday, it'll be a high of -5 and a low of -13. To start your weekend off on Saturday, it'll be a high of -8 and a low of -12 with a mix of sun and cloud. On Sunday, it's a little bit more sunnier than on Saturday, but there's a 70% chance of some snowfall with a high of -7 and a low of -10. On Monday, it'll be a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -8 and a low of -16. It'll also be a high of -8 on Tuesday and a low of -14 with mostly sunny skies with just a little bit of cloud coverage throughout the day. That wraps up your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news in the question of the day coming up after the break.
That time for question of the day, and I love this because it's Christmas time. Lots of people getting gifts. You receive gifts every year, of course. But what is your dream gift that you would get if you had to choose? Mine is a tropical trip. Honestly, I would love to go somewhere to Cuba or Dominican Republic or something like that.
That was actually a lot of the answers that we got. A lot of people said a trip would be nice. Some people said, you know, not having my parents having to worry about money anymore. You know, just having everyone be safe for Christmas was one heartwarming comment that we got. A bigger house, again, a lot of traveling. Win money to pay off bills, all that kind of stuff. So very sensible dream gifts.
Yeah, what about you?
Well,
what would you do?
Everyone who knows me knows that I'm obsessed with corgis, so that would be the dream present.
That would be it?
Yes.
Okay, are they expensive?
Yes, very expensive.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
The best gifts are also these pets. Thank you for sending them to us for us to admire. And for a chance to win a gift card from the Pet Pad, take a look at them.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
We are here with Brian LeBlanc, founder and organizer of Parade of Lights, of course. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course, you're not doing Rescue Squad right now. We're doing this first.
Yeah, no, it's a busy time of year, so
For
we're excited for Thursday.
Yeah, and every year this goes on, a lot of people get excited about it, but then it takes a lot of work to put this stuff together. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, no, 5 years ago we started the Parade of Lights, not to the capacity it is today.
Yeah.
We didn't think it would grow to what it is today, so I can't thank the committee behind me enough to put this thing on, and the Lloyd Exhibition Association as well.
Oh, for sure. So what do we expect this year? Obviously, every year there's a parade and a lot of things going on. Explain to us a little bit of what we're going to be able to see.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been getting some different comments from people that this is their best year. So we have a friendly competition going on with emergency services this year. So I'm excited to see what comes out of that.
Yeah.
People are getting pretty creative when it comes to the Parade of Lights. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, and there's a judging component as well too, right?
Yeah, so we've got 2 local judges here in Lloydminster that are going to be judging that night, and it turns out to be a pretty fun competition for the community. So.
Huge, and everybody gets involved and all that kind of stuff. And then you have a lot of stuff happening for families as well, to the bouncy castle. All that stuff is coming back.
Yeah, so we got Santa and his elves coming back, and the Grinch is going to make an appearance, I guess. So that's great. And yeah, the bouncy houses and hot chocolate will be down at the exhibition, and of course it's all free for the community of Lloydminster. So family and friends that are coming into our community, we welcome them to come watch the parade and to be a part of the festivities after.
Of course, and lots of entertainment at the end too. Is there anything we should know about?
No, it's just going to be a fun night. The weather's looking great, so we're excited for that. Last year was a cold year, so we're looking forward to the weather this year and the parade, and then immediately following we have all the activities down at the Lloyd X there.
Awesome. So. And you're still looking for people to enter. I mean, today's Tuesday. Obviously, today's a big deal for you.
Yeah, today's the deadline. We do have a couple people that didn't maybe get around to getting the applications off, so they are able to. We still do accept late entries, but we welcome anybody that wants to participate to give us a call.
And what do they do to participate? They enter online?
Yeah, so they can download the application on the Lloyd Exhibition's website, or they can go to our Facebook page and get it there. They can download it, fill it out, and then send it into the office, and we'll get them entered.
Beautiful. So what's different this year than any other year?
We did change the route a little bit, so we're going to be starting on 56th Street this year rather than 57th Street. So we just moved up a block.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think just the creativity people are coming out with is going to be a little bit more this year. So we're excited to see.
Can we get a glimpse of what you're talking about?
No. Well, we've got this year we've got a couple horses I know that are going to be in. Okay. So it's exciting to see what people come up with.
Yeah, and the funds for this obviously go towards the community, or
so we've always donated back to the community of Lloydminster, and we've raised just over $55,000 since we started the Parade of Lights. Yeah. This year we are going to be donating back to the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation once again. Okay. So we pick a project with them every year to tackle in the community of Lloydminster, and that directly affects Lloydminster. So 2 years ago we were able to purchase the Billy blankets for the maternity ward here in Lloydminster. So and I got to see them firsthand once they were put into use. So it was really nice to see.
Yeah. You've been doing this for quite some time now. What does this mean to you?
It means everything. You know, you see the kids at night and the lights, and it just, for families who don't get to experience a lot over the holiday season, it's nice to put a smile on their faces, and the kids just light up. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, I know you and your family are involved in a lot of things with the Rescue Squad and everything as well too. Are they going to be at this event?
Yeah, Rescue will be down at the event. They've accepted the Emergency Services Challenge to decorate their vehicles too. So we're excited to see what they come up with.
Yeah. What do you hope? Every year, obviously, it gets bigger, it gets better. What are your hopes?
I just want the community to come out and enjoy it. It is a free event for the community. Yeah. You know, it's something that I think is important to Lloydminster. It's definitely brings everybody closer together, and being that it is this close to Christmas, it just kind of kicks things off with the season. So
yeah, and there's a silent auction and all that kind of stuff as well too that you guys would do.
Yeah, so we have some items down at the Lloyd X immediately following the parade, and people can come down and purchase some tickets, and then they put them into the bucket, and then we draw for each item, so they can have a chance to win some items down there too.
So today's the last day for them to participate. Where can they participate, or what else do you need to
So
let them
just,
know?
7 p.m. on Thursday is when it starts. If they want to get their late entries in, just give us a call or check us out on Facebook. 7 p.m. on Thursday, and immediately following, join us down at the Lloyd X.
Awesome. Looking forward to the Parade of
Yes.
Lights. Brian, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and Hot 93.7, and here's what's happening. The Heartstrings and Roses Gala is the next big thing that is coming to Wainwright, and it's going down Saturday, February 8th. The Wainwright and District Community Health Foundation will host the annual Heartstrings and Roses Gala in support of the Wainwright Health Center. This year will be themed A Night at the Oscars, complete with a red carpet premiere. Their goal is to raise $100,000 for the CT scanner project. The evening will include a silent and live auction, fine dining, dancing, and entertainment. There are only 360 tickets available for purchase now. For more details, please check out our website, hot937.ca. Extreme Mud Fest 2020 is going down August 13th to the 16th. Headliners include Finger 11, I Mother Earth, and Emerson Drive, with more artists to be announced. Tickets can be purchased at extrememudfest.com, and of course, for more information, please check out our websites, 1019boom.com or hot937.ca. And check out Boom's website for a brand new contest that wraps this week. It's ending on Friday the 20th. It's called Boom's Christmas Tree, and what you're going to do is you're going to send us a picture of your tree with full details on how to contact you. Now, the only way you can enter this contest is to do it on our website, so make sure you check that out. You could be winning an awesome prize package courtesy of the River Cree Resort and Casino. It includes a 3-course dinner at Stage 1, a one-night stay, plus a pair of tickets to Glass Tiger, which is pretty sweet. And like I said, this contest does wrap on Friday the 20th, so make sure you get it in now. I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and Hot 93.7, and that's what's happening.
I'm here with Becca from the SPCA, and she's brought in this adorable cat named Anaconda, and he's been a resident at the SPCA for a while now, about 55 days, you said?
Yeah, almost 2 months.
So can you just tell me a little bit about how he came to be at the SPCA?
Yeah, him and all of his brothers came in. I think there was one female. They came in, they were strays, so they all came in at the same time, and they were a bit skittish initially. So he's still a little bit shy. I think he would appreciate a little bit of a quieter home to go to. But I mean, he's really kind of coming out of his shell. He's got the cute little puffy cheeks here. And yeah, he's a happy guy now. And he's in a condo with other cats too, so we think he would get along with a kitty friend at home. Dogs, he still puffs up quite a bit when they come around him, but I mean, if they're gentle with him, I'm sure that they would coexist at least.
And you mentioned that he's in a condo with other cats, so how are you doing with the numbers that you have right now?
Yeah, so with the start of our home for the holidays, we've had, I know at least for sure, 10 go home. We're still quite full. Same with dogs. We're jam-packed full of both right now. So I mean, we're really hoping by the end of this home for the holidays that most of our cats that are available for adoption will have gone home, and then we can start. We have puppies right now. I think that's our biggest number right now, is because we have 3 different sets of litters of puppies right now, and a few adults. So we're pretty full.
So what is his personality like around other cats that you've noticed?
Really good. Like, I think he kind of initially isn't really sure how to introduce himself properly. He's one that'll go right up into their face and is kind of like, hey, how's it going? So initially some cats give him a couple little taps of the head, but but for the most part he seems to win them over. But other than that, like, he loves affection. Like I said, he can be a little bit shyer sometimes too, but I mean, for the most part he's starting to calm down a little bit already, and he just likes to be pet.
And you had your Jail and Bail event last Thursday. Yes. How did that go, and what are kind of some of the numbers that you've donation-wise?
Yeah, so on the day and then a little bit on the next day, we reached about $9,600, so that was great. We were really rooting to beat last year's total, so we did that. So we had about 7,000 and some last year, so we were really happy with that. And then we're still told that we're going to get some more donations in as well too. So we're looking at a bigger number for sure this year. We're really happy with that.
And we're coming close to the end of the year. So what do you kind of expect will happen with the last couple of months, you know, because Christmas is coming up and there's always that people gift pets for Christmas and then it doesn't always work out. So what kind of are you expecting after Christmas?
For the most part, obviously, we're hoping for none. You know, we go through our adoption questions, and if there's anything that ever kind of, you know, is a bit of a red flag to us, we'll always kind of say, like, you know, maybe you just need to go home and think about it for a night. Like, this isn't just a, you know, like, again, we've said it before, you know, it's just not just for the kids. Like, this has to be something you're willing to take care of too. And, you know, it's a their lifetime commitment, right? Like, they could live. My parents have a 19-year-old cat right now, so I mean, it can be a long time. So you have to really be ready to have an animal in your life.
And since we talked just briefly about him being a very long resident, what are some of your other long residents that you have currently?
Yeah, like Moscow, he's hanging out at Puppy Love. He has currently, I think he's probably at about 110 days now. So he's a really sweet, affectionate boy too. Initially, he was quite nervous, and I think that's kind of why he was a bit overlooked. He's a black cat as well, so unfortunately, they get a little bit overlooked as well too. And when you're shy, it's harder to get noticed. So he's one of our longer ones. And then we have Simon, Alvin, and Theodore. They're all still there as well too, and they're our next longest ones. I believe they probably hit the 100 days now as well too. And then it's just these guys right after them. So we have quite a few that would really like to go home for Christmas.
And really quickly before we wrap up, we have Home for the Holidays going on right now. Can you just give a little bit of brief explanation of what it entails and how long it's going on for?
Yeah, and it goes right until the end of the day, Christmas Eve, and all the adult cats like Anaconda here are $25, and all of the kittens that are ready to go are $50.
And those, the cats that aren't ready to go, what's kind of the timeline for them?
You know, we're hitting up the vet clinics right now, seeing if they have any extra space to try and get as many done, so we can get as many out as we can.
All right, well, perfect. Thank you so much for coming in, and I wish you the best of luck with Home for the Holidays, and hopefully they can, especially your long residents, can find their home before Christmas.
Yes, us too.
Thank you.
Manage your waste and recyclables with Quick Pick Waste Disposal. 100% locally owned and proud to serve and support the communities we call home. Quick Pick, the convenient solution to avoid pollution.